more important than what I am saying now. So put your hands down. You may not. No. Not in your chair. Thank you. The question is, are the 4 things that are the basis for the soil of democracy? Give me one of them, Tiffany. No. Correct. Active citizen participation, you need to vote so that the people in power have legitimacy, meaning it was by the people. Liberty. And what's liberty? Expressing your freedoms. Freedom is having the ability to do certain things. The second part of the question. See how efficient I am. What are the other 2 that we are missing? Widespread education. We need an educated population in order to make good decisions and think critically. Brooklyn, what's last?
Wait, 2
What's the 4th one?
What are the things?
We have active citizen participation. We have widespread education. And we have liberty. Favorable economy. Yes, favorable economy. And the most favorable economies in the world, the favorable economies in the world produce the most stable economies or stable governments in general. Good job. All right. The next thing we started talking about was capitalism. I'm not sure that we got this far, but we did ask those questions, right? How and what is produced? How goods and services should be produced, and who goods and services? We'll ask these questions after economic, and I will short answer. All right, economic system with freedom of choice. All right, so it incentivizes your freedom. You got an idea, and you want to do something that you think is a good idea. You are more welcome to give it your. Do the best you can. Could fail miserably, or you could not. Depends. Capitalism has 5 major characteristics. Not these 5 things. It's not capitalism. There needs to be ownership of property and resources. You as an individual need to have the ability to buy property or buy some sort of resource to produce your. So, for example, if you were to own a ski slope, let's say, right? Let's say you own sort of like winter wonderland where people ski and frolic all day long. You would need access to snow maker. So you would have to buy resources. You also need to buy land to make this winter pass, right? So without that, you can't vote. Without private resources, capitalism doesn't exist. Tiffany.
Is it true fake snow with the stuff that makes it worse?
Probably. Why would that gross you? They're clean and not so. But
marshmallow.
Right. So also need free enterprise. Anybody know what free enterprise is? Free enterprise. It means you're allowed to act as you see fit, meaning the government doesn't control what it is that you're doing. All right. Free enterprise. Hey, I sell this in this, not this store, or I'm going to sell this price and not that price. It all depends. Free enterprise is the business opportunity to make decisions what is best for their products. Number 2, you need competition among businesses. So if there's only a business, capitalism will not function. For example, if the only shoe company in the world was Adidas, then Adidas could charge you whatever they wore tennis shoes. They wouldn't even need to make multiple kinds. They can make regular plain tennis shoes. Pay a bunch of money for it. You want sandals? Your basic pair of sandals. If those are the ones that exist, you have to pay what they charge because they're the ones that exist. So we need business to compete. Here's an example of that. I know how many major wireless service providers there were early 2000s, right? This surge of the beginning of cell phones. Major ones. Forward to that. Spectrum trying to become number 5. Spectrum is yeah, they recently. 4 in the exact order based on reliability go Verizon, T-Mobile, AT&T, and then Sprint. In that order, those are the major 4. But there also used to be Metro PCS uses of those 4 major cell towers. PCS is the company, but they're So like Boost Mobile division of Sprint, Credit division of T-Mobile. Like all of those are daughter companies to the parent companies. Okay? It is AT&T, you're correct. That's my bad. Metro TS, I'm not sure, but I used to Sprint.
T-Mobile's better than AT&T.
By T-Mobile's almost as good as Verizon. Those Verizon, T-Mobile, and those are like top two by, and they're very and AT&T and Sprint.
Like, why do they?
To be a cheap plan, it's not anymore.
No, I mean like that. Like I got a bunch of stuff that say T-Mobile. I'm gonna switch.
It's probably Verizon is the best. Statistically speaking, it's the best. But T-Mobile, statistically, based on 4G LTE coverage and calls capita, is the second best locked. AT&T and that's so. That's just the ranking. We can look it up. Maybe it's changed in the last 36 hours since I looked it up. I don't know.
You looked it up 6 hours.
I'm going to talk about it. So I kind of make it back for the All right. We also need freedom of choice, meaning consumer choice. You need to make the choice on what to buy. So, why buy your Adidas shoes? They're comfy and you like them. Not because the government required you to. Not because they're the only shoes that are available. You tend for insert any, it doesn't matter. Okay? You chose to buy those. So if business know that the consumer is going to choose what they want, causes business sort of be held accountable. They have to produce something that's going to sell. They produce something just to produce. Right? There has to be a site. So the freedom of business and consumer keeps business producing things that it wants.
Do you have it prices?
No, I actually really smart because you lose a little bit of one product, you're always going to go there over any other business to buy stuff, right? If you know Walmart price matches everything, why would you go anywhere else? You would just get all the stuff, have to go to 5 to get. Walmart lose a little bit of money. They're going to gain money in your additional business and your patronage in Brooklyn.
Let's say you go to and you don't like how something's priced, so you're like, oh, I'm gonna make the exact same thing cheaper. Are you allowed to do that?
Absolutely. That is the basis of capitalism. 100%. If you say, hey, here's this thing that is, and it's too expensive, I'm going to instead. And then I'm going to sell at a cheaper price. The epitome of what capitalism is that.
Could that company do them?
Absolutely not. And that's that exact patented, which patents are weird. So like you patent a certain name-based shoe, but you patent the shoe whole because that would be a monopoly, right? Same as sunglasses. You can patent a certain design of glass, but you can't patent glasses as a whole because that would be a monopoly. So as long as you're not cloning what you created, then absolutely. Jane,
So these shoes I want to choose. Okay.
sure.
Specifically, those are and this and that one. But anyway. But there's also just like it's like they're not the big. Okay, like those same.
Jada, it's important that you understand when you raise your hand, you ask a question.
This question I'm saying that's legal. They are the same as except design on the side.
They're the same as that they're both shoes. Yes.
Well, I mean, they have the same like shape and look.
Right. Almost all shoes have the same shape and look. Sorry.
Oh my goodness, Mr. Lunsford.
No, I'm done. All right, next. And positive profits, meaning a company doesn't have a reason to be that good. They're going to make money. Why in the world would they produce a product? There's a reason to. All right. And other times, all right, you're going to find out. All right. I think I know Jada here, but what she doesn't understand is if I don't get through what I want to get through, I'm going to make a video and make you watch it. That's my thing. I don't get behind it. I just make more time out of your life and stay with you. Having a fantastic. Thanks for asking. Uses market with freeze. It looks, but it's correct. The freeze, F-E-S. So weird. Look weird. Maybe you, I don't know. Which free buyers and sellers economic decisions. All right. So that means the people selling the good, the price, and the people buying the good are saying okay. And if the buyer doesn't say okay, then the seller could do two things. They could say fine, somebody else will buy it, And if they'll be fine. Or they could say, hey, we'll lower the price. So for example, Apple kept the price of their iPhone the exact same as the new iPhone. Nobody's either the past year's iPhone, right? So they priced it less than, so people have a reason to buy both phones so that they can continue manufacturing both phones. Does that make sense? And it saves them money in the long run because if they're producing OLED screens the same size, 2 different phones, that's how they can be cheaper. The production increases, the quantity of buying increases, so the cost decreases a little bit. Adam Smith, the term as a thing which you think means hands off, stupid history told you that. That's what it means. All right? It doesn't mean hands off. Laissez means to alone. That is a French translation from my brain because I know French. At least I have to translate that. It means to let alone. So it doesn't mean hands off. It means just don't do anything. Let it do its thing. View of capital is that the market will always correct itself, right? You have somebody that's in and is selling shoes for $2,000 piece of LeVar Ball, and people buy those shoes, and fine. That person can't exist and sell their shoes, right? But if a person sells $2 shoes and nobody buys them, then that business is out of business, right? Let's say Adidas was selling shoes at $300 a pair. Nike comes in and sells a very similar pair of shoes for $150 a pair. Adidas is going to struggle, right? So what do you need to do? Lower their price. So basically the thing is that buyers and sellers market they're going to drive on what's affordable, right? And is it going to tell us what we can afford? They're not companies what to produce. They're going to let you do what you can afford and let you decide what you're going to produce if you're a business owner. Make sense? All right. Competition is the piece of capitalism. Capitalism doesn't exist. You need people to outdo each other. Brooklyn's idea. If you get good or service, think you can do it better for price. Got a business model. Make some money, right?
That's what I asked. So you said good.
Did I? I said a good service. Never say good service. Ever in my life have I said good
My
service.
dad said,
Yeah. Good or service is what I would like. You're producing a good or you are a service, right? Now, the world has no pure capitalism. There are no systems in the world. This is pay market. But the United States is the closest example of pure capitalism. We have what's called a market system. Explain a little bit in a minute on the mixed market system, but it's basically let the market do its thing, but if you do something that's totally and completely unfair, step in and fix it. Does that make sense? So mixed market is exactly that. Let it become an unfair system, but for the most part, kind of let it go. So like referee, when you watch a football game, who knows what plays are called? Coaches. Coaches decide the ball's going to go, who's the ball, who's who, whether they're going to throw it, whether they're going to pass it, whether they're going to run it or kick it, what they're going to do. It doesn't matter, right? The referees aren't there to tell you how to play the game. They're just there to make sure nothing's unfair. That's sort of like the United States system. You decide what's happened. So think about you're on the company offense. They're trying to do something. You have to decide whether that's okay. And the refs are the United States. They come in and say that was an unfair exchange, or this is a fair matchup, right? Or this was sort of penalty or unfair practice. Okay, kind of how this works. Tiffany,
what do you bounce the check?
be charged a fee by your bank, also be charged a fee by the person you gave the check to, and you would also charge the fee for drafting your account. Usually, it costs you 4 times that. But you don't have, unless it's a card, then spend, but you have to pay every month. But you can't spend more than because then you wouldn't be a credit card, and then you have credit card debt and build interest, and then backfire. But to put it in simpler terms, everything I buy on a credit card and off every month, and every year my company writes me a check of $1,000. I literally make money by spending money on a credit card, and I'll show you how to do that. Citibank, 4% cash back on pretty much anything. It's pretty awesome. Capitalism has increasing government influence. And what I mean by that is government, the United States government has grown to the single largest seller of goods in the United States. Why? Simple answer. Military. Conversation over. The budget for the United States military is so incredible, although it doesn't make up a huge portion of our budget. It only makes up less than a third. It's like less than 20% of our budget is military now. So the government has to buy and sell certain items. So the government buys oil from companies, and they also sell oil to other places, countries. They buy metal, and they sell guns to their rebels fighting the Syrian war, right? Things like that. So the government, because of the influence of oil, has been the single largest seller. Government also has regulations to consumer, labor management, pollution, and so what that means is they make sure the businesses take advantage of it. So for example, if this produces a shoe has very toxic chemicals that are going to slow you the more you wear them. The government needs to be able to step in and say, can't produce those shoes anymore, and pay the person who poisoned a bunch of they're dead, then you pay a bunch of money for their families, right? Everybody else, right? So they affect you. Management is like, for example, if you work 40 hours in a company is required to pay you time unless you agree not to overtime for a reason. So if you're under the age of 18, you're not allowed to work 40-hour week, period, ever. That's even in the summertime. That is a law. If you do that, your business is violating management practices. If you're under 18, you're not allowed to work past 11 o'clock on a weekday. If you work past 11 o'clock, your business is violating labor management law. You're not allowed past 1 a.m. if you're under 18. On the weekend, which changes because Springfield, that's actually midnight because you have a curfew. If you're under the age of 18, you are allowed to be out of the house or driving a car unless it is before or you are over the age of 18, period. All right. These are laws that you're not necessarily aware. The city of Springfield has a curfew. If you're under the age of 18 and you're out after midnight, you're breaking curfew. Doesn't matter. Doesn't. There are no exceptions to the law at all. You have no decision power under the any way, shape, or form. If you wanted to tell me what your security number is, you even have the power. Under the age of 18, the only people who control your privacy under the law and in this school are your parents or guardians, period. Conversation.
So if you're under 18, like given birth, bringing us to house, and you're stay at home. Or
You need a reason, though. I was going to say, hey, get a ticket for this. No, like you need to understand the risks and the rewards. So the risks there would outweigh what the punishment would be. So go to a hospital. Yeah. Then you would be fine. Yeah. Job schedule, work until 11. They're asking you to weekday because you are traveling on a weekday. Curfew stays until 6 a.m. as well. So you all be out in before 6 a.m. because that's also curfew. Mixed market economy. So the mixed economy here in the United States is a mix-up free enterprise, I'll say fair, stuff alone, and the government coming in and saying, hey, it's a little unfair. All right? Gotta have a good mix. Anything else with anything in life, if you know it's bad for you, just stand the risk, do it in moderation, right? Like sugar, most of the substance in the world. You eat a ton of sugar, you get cavities. You get on my 6-pound life, and you, right? So there you go. Yeah. It's only where you are at that time. So if you're in curfew's 1 a.m., cool. But as soon as you're in Springfield, the laws. You better get. Okay. All right. Next type of economy we're going to is socialism. I know this is a bit long paragraph, but it's not that. You don't need to write it down, of course. Socialism is where the government owns basic means of production. So who decides and what is produced? The government. right? Who decides how to use it? The government. And who gets the good or the government? Socialist, government, and government. All right? In socialism, so what you think communism is actually socialism. Just a heads up. All right? So, determines the use of resources, distributes wages, social services, education, health, and welfare. However, there are socialist democracies in the world. Right? Now, these are democracies that have constitutions, certain they can't do to their citizens, but only the government has the power and can do anything they want. All right? So that's why when you advocate for socialism in the United States, you freak out, but this in the world, I think it's the best system in the United States. Maybe it's not. We haven't tried it. Right? And we don't function the same way those socialist countries do. But this is the idea that people have. Bernie Sanders is famous for pushing a dinner. All right? So the government has what they produce and what they pay, make sure that things are spread evenly. All right? The biggest negative of socialism, right? The government is telling you to produce something and have an idea of how you use that good or serve cheaper. There's nothing for you to do. Right? The government to decide what's produced. So what happens in socialist states is there's this stagnation of development, right? What that means is, would there be any benefit to becoming a surgeon versus becoming any surgeon, right? You think surgeon, you think money. In a socialist system, that wouldn't be the case, right? Everybody would have what they need to survive, and that's it, no matter what. So what happens is nobody actually, maybe some people do, maybe, and maybe more thing. It sort of creates an issue where people who would otherwise have motivation to be a surgeon or have that in because they're going to make money or have access to resources, no matter whether they're a surgeon, a chef, or a factory worker. All of those persons would have the same access. And some of you are probably saying, it's fine to me if they're part of what they need to survive. Good. And that's fine. Fair opinion. Personally, of the opinion, I enjoy capitalism. I like the idea that I'm going to get something and improve on something. I like not knowing what the future is going to be. I like not knowing what's developed. Like for example, I'm so pumped on PN today, right? What I want in a cell doesn't exist in a couple of hours. I don't know that. And the reason our companies are doing that, the envelope, doing great things and potentially making mistakes, because we know, right, is because there's a reason. If it's something that nobody has done, people say that's awesome and buy it, right? That's why I prefer capitalism, but I understand the mindset of people for socialism. Tiffany.
Is unemployment for the same thing?
No. There. And I'm not going to. The second is we talk about unemployment and wealth. All right. Socialism has three main goals. All right. And for you that are like that, you're probably correct. These aren't. I'm just realizing for the sake of it. Technically, you don't need to know this Ohio graduation test. Technically, only required to teach you American government. But I don't think that's fair. So I go outside the box. I think you understand. If I don't like socialist style government, I think it's only fair that you at least know what it is so that you can make a fair decision when you go into it, right? A majority of Americans want a socialist government. Let's have a socialist government, right? Just because what I want is in the minority doesn't mean I lose any rights, right? So I guess short, what I'm saying is I'm giving you to make your own decision rather than just teaching you to think is right. Okay? Makes sense. I appreciate that. I think you'll get a little bit more where you're allowed to make your own decision based on the information rather than me force feeding what it is down your throat, right? So that's why I move real quickly too, is because of things I think you need to know, not just what's best. All right? Distribute wealth equally among, is it wealth? Not really. Access to food and make sure everybody has a basic standard of living with other and food and jobs and blah, blah. But it boils down, it's not really, it's just a being wealth is the easiest way to sort of put it in kind of how it works. Society go through its got major decision production. So society, by extension, because they have power, decides how and what gets produced, who produces it or how it's produced, and what's produced. Those are all the government. All right. Government ownership of this land, all land, factories, and other means of. So the government owns everything. Technically, in socialist, you can't even buy a house. You can't buy the land that the house is on. You lease it from the government for 99 years. And if you die before the lease is up, that's what they expect, 99 years. They own the building and they lease it to sales. And they like your improvements or whatever, but you're not allowed to own things.
Even when buying.
No matter what. No, you can't buy it. They're like you buying. You can't buy land. You can't buy it. You can't buy an apartment.
Whenever you make your own buy.
You couldn't buy your own house. Government would make it because you couldn't buy the land house. That would provide it. All right. And then this is it. Get this down. You can pack up, get ready to go. All right. Democratic socialism is people have their human rights. Have like our Constitution, right? You have your freedom of speech, your freedom of whatever it may be. But the government owns all the things in production. Now these countries are democratic. So Norway, Denmark, and Sweden are the most common example